The year is winding down. The 11th month is November. We're on the Deliver More show. We're always talking Teflon. We're talking turkey. Chris Lord's with me. Mike Patterson's with me. Gentlemen, welcome. It's good to see you guys again.
Great to be here.
Good to be here. Always is. Thanksgiving's right around the corner. It's a festive time of year.
Yeah, it absolutely
We're going to bring the energy to the show.
It better. I always love when the two of you join me. It's got to be one of these things. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way, in advance to everybody. Happy Veterans Day. It's important that we remember that as well. And I was just thinking about this month, and I was thinking about what we were going to do on the show. And we're all getting ready to go our separate ways and go to our family gatherings. And it made me think, whenever family gets together for a big occasion like Thanksgiving, everyone's expected to bring something, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Bring something. Yams. You bringing yams this year?
No. Pretzel salad.
Pretzel salad.
What the? All right, we have to talk about this off air.
Pretzel salad. Set it and forget it. It made me think when we all get down to the table, somebody brings something along with. You're expected to do this, right? Now, when Teflon comes to the table, it brings so much, but not to mention, I'm new to the family here, right? You got to tell me about these two twin cousins that Teflon brings along to the table with it. And I'm talking, everybody knows them, non-stick and low friction. So, Mike, tell me a little bit about, I'm probably going to be sitting next to non-stick. What do I expect?
Well, Nick, in the Teflon food world, which is what we're going to focus on today in this episode, non-stick and low friction go hand in hand. That's two cousins of food processing. And now a lot of people get them mixed up. They're nearly identical, but there's slight differences that you can tell when you really get to know the coatings and the properties behind these two.
Will one of them have a lisp?
No. I'm going to talk about my friend non-stick. I like him a little better than low friction, I think. So non-stick in the world I deal with is a lot of things where you're like peeling food off of a surface, like an egg coming off of a frying pan, a hamburger bun coming out of a bun pan, a cookie releasing. So it's things like that really lead to like high quality food products that look the way they're designed to be looked and look great in packaging and appetizing, and then you end up eating a bunch of stuff.
All right. And now, can you tell me why it's such an important property? Why is this a popular cousin?
This cousin does carry some weight in a lot of communities because it allows for just such manufacturing consistency. So things like, there's less waste because the products come out looking the right way.
That's good.
It's more healthy because the alternatives to this cousin is you bring the neighbors, the bumkuses or whatever, they come over and they've got more oil. They don't brown the same every time. The cooking process is different.
You invited them.
Yeah, that's the thing. But, some people still try to go back to those old school ways of just dousing with oil, but it's not really the best way. So non-stick definitely has some advantages in the production, consistency, and just healthfulness of the products.
Very, very good. So
we eat a lot. I mean, it's a lot of food.
Yeah.
Got to have great repeatability. Be able to bang out all those buns and whatever else we're making. So it's really
rolls.
Dinner rolls.
Yeah.
Important quality.
So I'm in a good seat if I'm sitting next to non-stick. All right. Now, the other cousin here, nearly identical as Mike said, low friction, Wolf. What do we got?
Well, low friction is really more about kind of like slide lubricity where you have surfaces rubbing against each other. So when you think about that, PTFE is the go-to coating for that, but like knives, there's a lot of cutting that goes on in the food industry. And the great thing about PTFE, which makes this cousin so different, it's the only one that when you cure it, it sinters. It doesn't melt flow. And that's actually a great quality for something like a knife. Because it will wear. I mean, nothing's forever.
Right.
And it will wear out over time. But, like, if a coating that actually has melt flow, when it starts to wear, you might just have strips peel off.
Okay.
Whereas, PTFE won't do that because it's sintered. It doesn't have that melt flow characteristics, and it's not all going to come off at one time. So, I mean, extrusion dye is another thing. Where
Cheese making. Just like string cheese.
Oh, okay.
Like that. So anything, imagine if you didn't have that. It was just a gummed up, pile of cheese. We wouldn't have, what are those little cheese cheese sticks,
Cheese
things like
sticks.
that. So
You have cheese sticks on Thanksgiving?
I don't.
Cheese
to the
sticks and pretzel salad.
Yeah, this is a different
Low
episode.
Pork
budget.
chops
It's a
and
low budget
applesauce.
Thanksgiving this year. It's a little tight. So.
Karen is not going to be happy with you.
No.
This episode.
No.
But anyway, so but again, PTFE and just that attribute of centering and think about how you even got there.
Okay.
How'd you get to Thanksgiving? You probably drove. Freaking cars has all kinds of areas where they need low friction, non-squeak, so it doesn't make a lot of noise.
Yeah.
And the great thing about it is a lot of times in those applications, those parts aren't seen. You can't access them. And you can't put like a grease in there where it'll get all gummed up over time. So, Teflon and low friction characteristics of PTFE give you that long lasting durability and performance. So
All right.
it's just a great attribute.
I think I'm more comfortable at the table now because usually when somebody's that popular, like, come on, it can't be that great. But I think
Well,
non-stick.
who else might be at the table?
Yeah, and that leads me to my next thing because I think we've all been in this situation where like, where's cousin so and so? I haven't been around in a while. Well, at the gathering this year, this is not going to be a popular thing to say. There's a cousin who's been away for a long time.
Yep.
Now wants to be back at dinner, and I'm talking about this long lost cousin Mike Soulgel.
Yeah, Soul Gel.
What can you tell me, and what can you tell me to expect here?
This is like the typical type of thing when there's a relative that kind of goes off on their own path for quite a while, maybe kind of gets away from the family because they're doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Then they come back, and there's a lot of hoopla because the person's coming back again.
Yeah.
Things are different. It's going to be so much better than before, and that is Soul Gel in the food processing world, and specifically with food because there's a lot of proof here. This is not a bunch of smoke and mirrors that Soul Gel's floating around like he did on the RSVP card. This is a lot of smoke. There's a lot of things that would go with it, like just from a processing standpoint. It's a ceramic-based material. It's got an extremely short shelf life. So you have a two-part material. You have to mix it, spray it right away, or it hardens up in your spray gun. So you really have to be on your toes as far as if you're even going to engage with Soul Gel, because then just know it's from the onset it's going to be difficult.
Right.
But then the reality of it is Soul Gel just doesn't perform in the food world.
Really?
It's like I said, it's ceramic, and ceramic in and of itself is not non-stick, but the manufacturers will add silicone oils and things like that to it to make it non-stick. And that's what would be something like the Green Pan or something like that was big time on the market a few years ago.
Yeah, a few years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
And what happened with Green Pan, they're no longer around because no staying power because no performing power. So what would happen is because it's silicone oil in the ceramic matrix, it wears off after a handful of cooks and a handful of washes in a dishwasher or by hand. So what happens is every cycle, the silicone starts to reduce to where pretty soon you get zero performance because there's nothing on there to release. Wow. So the point of that is when Teflon tests against it, and there's a lot of cookware tests, Teflon pans outlast it 7-1, just on a straight performance standpoint. Not even talking about how many less recoats you need to do with Teflon, and that's so much more environmentally friendly to not constantly be blasting ceramic off and reapplying. It's not clean at all. So all that weighs into the fact that Soul Gel, great to see you, buddy, but, he's just not going to be around when it comes time to really be consistently part of the family.
Yeah, that initial interaction's great.
Yeah.
It's just diminishing returns from there.
Diminishing returns, well, just based on experience, right?
Yeah.
It's not that,
we've been down this road.
not like you're making it up, it's based on experience. All right, so I guess I should be a little wary about the appearance of Soul Gel here at the table. Thank you for that. Got to rearrange the chairs somewhat at the table. As the dinner can go on, or any kind of festivities go on, especially when families are involved, there's always a chance that the atmosphere can turn a little, abrasive, I guess I should say.
Contentious.
A little contentious.
Alcohol-driven.
Yeah, so everybody.
Comments.
Yeah,
Sore subject comes up.
yeah. Aunt Margaret swears she only had one glass of wine, and then all of a sudden, turns a little abrasive. Lucky for us, though, Wolf, Teflon can smooth over any abrasive situation, right?
Well, that's the thing. You got that abrasive, relative. You got to have a thick skin. Put a Teflon skin on, And we've got products for those types of environments. There's durability in the Teflon coating anyway, but over the course of time, everybody just demands more performance, and so we have one coats that have additives in them that will allow them to last even longer than just the base coating. But like one of our most popular would be our 3-coat reinforced. You have a reinforced primer, reinforced mid coat, and a PTFE mainly top coat that just gives it great performance, and it can withstand that abrasive uncle or aunt, whatever they got, whatever they're throwing at you. But it holds up to the cleaning. I mean, cooking a Thanksgiving meal, you got dishes all over the place. You got the Scotch Guard out, the pad and all that stuff. I mean, Teflon will hold up to that. So, I mean, and they do need to be maintained. I mean, if you want to get the performance every time you use it, it does have to be cleaned every so often. It's not like, hey, that's my frying pan, and I never clean it. I just pull it out. Whatever was there the last time, bake it right in. We don't do that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah.
So I got one more for you. I got high molecular weight, so we can introduce that into the equation.
Oof.
So, these abrasive situations create a lot of stress.
Yeah.
That's what high molecular weight's great for. Stressful situations, high rapid, cycling of temperatures up and down. High molecular weight coatings withstand that.
Yeah.
They don't break down. So, and that's the key. You can't let somebody, eat at you. You leave the party, you're in tears, and or you're driving your wife home. She's beating your ear about why you didn't stick up for her when the abrasive uncle went after.
That's just your car, my man.
Yeah. Why did you eat all my cheese sticks and pretzel
I was watching
salad?
the game. It was a good game.
The Lions were on.
Anyway, but high molecular weight's just another great attribute, and it adds a little more durability to the equation. And we got a whole line of those coatings too. So
Yeah. Well, I'm talking like this is a wonderful rundown of just about every quality that Teflon brings to the table, so that we have a wonderful, wonderful event.
That's the goal, Nick. I mean, we're here to be able to help in any scenario in the food world. So enjoy, eat up, throw down some pretzel salad if that's your liking. And cheese sticks. Or the traditional turkey, as some of us have.
Yeah, some of us weirdos, have that. But yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday again.
You do the same, Nick.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us on Deliver More this month as we're talking turkey, talking Teflon here in Delaware. Thanks to the team here at Forgistics and the team at Intech MKT. Happy holidays, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Gobble, gobble.